Sorry.
Secretary's report.
Secretary's report be accepted as read. No, yeah,
Yeah.
accepted as read and written.
I'll second that.
Okay. Sounds good. Secretary's report is passed. As is. Let's go on to our financials.
Financials, we have $70,000 right now. It's an amazing number. And I gave you some stuff to work on last week. I also had a couple of questions on some spending. I just think I'll go back and grab those, make sure that I understand what they are.
Was it those 3 that you emailed about? I added them to this spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
Well, I just did it today.
Oh, okay, great. And the only other thing is, I'd like to propose that we buy the water cooler for, I don't know, $150 to $200 because we've been paying $10 a month for it.
Because we're renting it, right?
Oh,
We talked
yeah.
about that, I feel like a little while ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So if
Well, are
everybody's,
people, is everyone in agreement to buy the water cooler? Versus, we'll probably save money if we buy it, right?
Yeah.
it'll pay
How
off
much
in
do
a
we
year,
pay per month?
$10 a month.
So, yeah.
But then where do we get the big things of water?
They still deliver,
Oh, okay.
but they just don't pay the rent.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Did you discover anything wonderful in the, when you analyze the spending? Are you good?
No, I think I'm good. I just,
Okay.
I wanted to see the report.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the town financial audit went through. There was nothing for the library, and there was no movement to move us to QuickBooks.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Paula and I said,
Great.
Paula, you want us to go to QuickBooks? You can pay for it. She goes, I don't want you to move to QuickBooks. I go, don't you guys use QuickBooks? She goes, no, we use some other system. So I was like, apparently it was just something the treasurer thought up, but there was no momentum behind it. So
Okay. So we'll just keep doing what we do.
just keep doing what we're doing. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
That sounds good.
That's it.
Great. The building, we're gonna talk about buildings, but I don't know if there's any immediate, and Tom's not here, so we're good. Okay, all right. Moving ahead. Library director's report.
It's a little short today.
Yes,
I know, I love your little short.
Don't make it any smaller.
I love your
okay?
long ones too, but I love
Well,
how they've been like.
the last 2 meetings, we had so much to
So
discuss.
much.
So I'm happy to talk about anything else that's not on here. But in a nutshell, our circulation is kind of as expected. We're getting a little bit busier, both with visits to the library and with checkouts, which is typical for this time of year. We'll be busy from now until like late fall, before we have another lull. And we're also up from this same time last year in terms of our circulation. So, and that's true with visits as well. I think the growth has definitely slowed. It's not like exponential growth like it was the first few months or the first year, but we still are growing a little bit. And we added about 95 new items to the collection. We did start using a new vendor last month. I think that I had mentioned it in a previous meeting. So I did for the books. So it's like a trial.
Who's that?
It's called micro marketing. So we're not going to replace totally Baker and Taylor, which is our main vendor, because they have such a deep discount for most items. But they've been a little problematic with getting books out on time. Like the newest and most wanted have been back ordered a lot lately, and other libraries are reporting the same problem. So micro marketing has a flat 20% discount for libraries, whereas Baker and Taylor, it's like dependent on the type of item and like the publisher and stuff. So it is still really helpful, and it's a lot more personal because it's a smaller company. So like the sales rep calls me to make sure that everything is nice and, you know, asks if I need any help. So we'll be supplementing book orders with micro marketing.
And the other ones are covered too, right?
Yes, they do all of the
Oh, wait,
processing for free. We pay Baker and Taylor to do processing. So that's kind of a nice perk as well. And only one thing was back ordered that I
And
tried
the
to
same
work.
discount, the same 40% off,
Same what?
same discount on the list.
So,
Or
it's,
do you wanna-
it depends. So it's like 20%. So some things are, some things are a little bit more expensive, but other things are actually less expensive than Baker and Taylor.
What do we use before Baker and Taylor?
So I
Local.
think Phoenix Books primarily,
Yeah.
but which is nice because they're local, but also like they also presumably use one of these vendors like Ingram or Baker and Taylor. Like usually bookstores and libraries order from the same
Okay.
places.
Uh-huh.
So it just adds a little bit of an extra step. But I do buy stuff from them sometimes, but just not the bulk of those orders.
So if we go, Baker and Taylor gives us what discount now?
It depends on what we're purchasing.
Uh-huh.
So it can be up to 40%, but sometimes there's not a discount or the discount's like at $1.
So you don't think we're gonna spend any more at Micro?
No, so I think what my plan is to still primarily do the purchasing through Baker and Taylor, but then get things that keep getting back ordered from Baker and Taylor through micro marketing, and anything that would be more expensive to purchase through Baker and Taylor, I'll purchase through micro
It's nice to
marketing.
be able to compare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It's really nice. So I'm happy with that. It seemed like it worked out pretty well, the trial order I did with them. In terms of programs, our most popular programs this past month were second Spanish language story time we did at the end of May. And then the calligraphy has been super popular. We've had 2 sessions of that so far, and likely we'll do another series of them sometime, maybe in the summer or fall. We're wrapping up with the radio program that we did with the kids. We have 1 more week of that, and that's really exciting. I'll share the radio program with you when it's done. It's very cool. They interviewed Val at the country store, and also one kid wanted to do a creamy report. So they interviewed one of the people working at the country store, and then they did some sound editing, and they like recorded the creamy machine making
Oh,
the creamy
nice.
noise.
So cute.
Yeah, and they interviewed Amanda, who brings Theo the therapy dog now, which is another new
nice.
program that Brandon helped organize. So that's been really fun. She's come twice, including today.
So is Amanda related to you?
Just a friend that I've known for years and has a little therapy dog. He's adorable.
Oh, she is adorable.
What kind of dog is it?
It's like a cocker spaniel, like a black kind of spaniel, like.
Spaniel-like dog.
Remind me the name of the new book distributor.
Oh, micro marketing. And they're based in Connecticut. They're quite small, but a bunch of other Vermont libraries are using them also for similarly small purchases. Then looking ahead to next school year, I'll talk about summer reading in a minute, but next school year, we kind of want to adjust the Crafternoon program we've been running. There's so much demand for it. So we'd like to find a way to be able to offer it to more families. So I'm going to talk to the community center and see if we could work out a way to do something over there, because we certainly could get volunteers. Like, it's not a problem to get extra adults to help out at all. It's just like physically the space. We're kind of capped.
I'd love to help out in that.
Okay, awesome. It's a great program, and like, of course, families are always looking for something to do that day. And then in terms of summer reading, here are a few highlights. The signups will start June 19th, which is the first day of the summer vacation. It lasts the whole summer, so they don't have to do it at a certain day. There will be reading incentives for kids, teens, and adults. Last year, we kind of like grouped the teens in with adults, but we're gonna have a third separate category that I think will not be highly used, but maybe there will be a few kids who might participate.
The teens.
Yeah, a few teens, yes, lots of kids. Major events that we have planned: the launch party for June 28th. We're gonna have a variety of activities at that, and then as long as it doesn't rain, should be on the green. I just was talking with Pete earlier today, and we picked July 26th for the pet parade. And then we're organizing Touch a Truck in August. So Meredith.
Are we competing with anybody this year?
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
But so I talked to someone at the fire department, and he said he doesn't think it matters how many Touch a Truck events happen, because they're so
Yeah,
popular.
people go all over the state. to
Yeah.
touch those
It's a
trucks.
Yes. So yeah. So he was
Okay.
very.
Yeah.
He said just go for it.
Uh-huh.
And are you gonna put, is it open for people to bring their equipment as well?
Oh, I think that adds a lot of challenge to it. Maybe I would say I'm open to like have people bring their equipment, but they should arrange it. Like we should
Not
arrange it in
just-
advance.
Yeah, not to show
Don't
up.
Yeah,
show
no, but
up.
so who would be coming? The fire department, the highway department?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Meredith has been taking point on planning. So I know that she emailed and called a few places, and I can't actually remember all the places, but I can share a list with you after the meeting. And also if you have any suggestions, certainly.
Police cruiser. A police cruiser.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The range,
Oh, yeah, like those weird looking.
those little Swiss trucks.
Yeah.
Catherine, do you have rain dates or rain arrangements for launch party and or pet parade?
Yeah, so we do we have a rain date for the pet parade. I think we need to make a rain date for the launch party because the community center already was booked for that day. So we can't go inside like we did last year. That worked out.
So the launch party, isn't that also like that's not the joint green?
No, that's later in the
Okay,
summer.
okay.
Yeah.
That's something else we can get
Yes.
in on. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
So on the 28th, if you wanted it, you cannot have it at the community center.
No.
So we need to have
Yeah.
a rain date.
So
I
we-
think, is that the garden tour day?
Oh, is it?
I'm wondering.
Yeah, it might be. We've conflicted with them in the past because it's not the first Saturday of the summer, but every year Deborah Rawson does their launch party the first Saturday of the summer, and we're trying to avoid each other's major event dates. So we could make it later, but then early July is also kind of
The
problematic.
next weekend
Yeah.
is the fourth weekend.
Yeah, which I accidentally planned something that weekend once, and that was such a bad
Yeah.
idea.
Well, let's just hope what about
June
the
28th
29th?
is the community center. That is their garden tour.
Oh, yeah.
The 29th, why not?
Could we just have like the next day be
Yeah,
29th?
It could be the 29th,
So-
yeah.
And then if for some reason it rains on the 29th, maybe the community center would be open.
Yeah, oh, that's a good,
So we have a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great
that's
idea,
a great idea.
That way we don't go too far. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
especially this summer, which seems to rain continuously, so.
The weekend.
Yeah.
And the way every
And it's
weekend, right?
supposed to rain this Saturday.
It is supposed to rain this Saturday.
Yeah, the garden tour is only limited to
So, not a
Yes.
bad idea to have it
pretty
rain.
quick to see who
Well,
the garden.
I don't know how many gardens are here.
Not the water garden.
and then in addition to the big major events, we're having some other summer programs in addition to our normal story times. So we're gonna have a robotics camp that will run twice, and we can have up to 10 kids in each of the sessions. And then also slime. That's always very
Are
popular.
you gonna do the poetry?
Yes.
Some
Oh,
kind of poetry
yes. And
event.
I've been talking with Jessica Alexander and oh my goodness, someone at the community center. So we're kind of trying to coordinate we're coordinating so that we don't duplicate any events.
Oh, nice.
And also Sundog Poetry is doing some stuff in Mary Jane's honor.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're spreading it out. It's going to be kind of throughout the summer. Our
Oh,
things
that's
will
nice.
probably be in late July.
Okay.
And then there's something else scheduled in September and October that we're not part of, but maybe we might help support the community center and what they're doing. Yeah.
And we're gonna do the poetry walk on the green.
Yes, we'll do the poetry walk on the green. I think what we're going to do is have like 2 events that bookend our poetry activities. So one will be, like come if you want, find a poem and make a button, and then an event where people can like come wearing a ask me about my poem button, and then we'll do a reading of some of Mary Jane's
That's
poetry.
nice.
And then folks can mingle and share
very
their
nice.
own poems. Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And we'll invite her
She would love
family.
that.
We can invite her family.
Okay.
Yeah. And the community center, they're doing what they're organizing is more of what Mary Jane used to organize, like a poetry
Tree
reading
workshop.
and
Oh,
a
wow.
workshop. So they're trying to they're definitely doing some readings, and they're also hoping to organize, maybe, I don't know, Lindsay, if maybe you know someone, or maybe Sue or Linda or Barb, if you know people who might be interested, they want to invite poets, but also poets who are good at working with kids. And they want to have a teen focused event where they're going to invite maybe like 4 teens to read poems, and then have like a little mentorship with 4 like published poets. So
I know
Yeah.
one,
cool.
Rajni Edens. He's in Burlington. There's a lot of
What's
work
his
schools.
name?
Rajni, I can look it up. And he does a lot of work with youth. He's published and does a lot of workshops as well.
That would
Will
be
these poets be
amazing.
compensated for their time?
I think that's the idea.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure. And also we can work with them too. Yeah.
Okay, great. Rajni, there we go. RajniEddins.
Thank you.
He's a spoken word poet,
That's
teaching
really
artist.
cool.
Yeah, he's excellent.
We had Jason Chin.
Oh, I know.
He was so amazing.
Yeah.
He was really that good.
Yeah.
And did him for the whole day. It was amazing. He did like little workshops, and he was just like such a regular person.
Yeah.
He was great. $5,000.
Yes.
That's better.
Yeah.
For a full day at a time.
Right.
Yeah, when you're like a
It was at my
keynote
school
or
that
yeah,
I'd work at.
Yeah.
But he was really excellent.
worth
He
it.
was, yep, he was
Yeah.
something else. Proud to be a Vermonter.
So the poetry celebration is going to start in July, you said, and end in August, or just all in July.
I think all in July. We can leave the poetry walk up, but when we bookend the, like share a poem in your pocket, I want it to be kind of a short period of time, just so that people don't forget about it. Like if people are interested, they just come and do it, and like not, get distracted by the various other things to do in the summer.
Totally. And the robotics camps, are those already people signing up for or not quite yet?
No, I haven't advertised
Okay.
it yet, but I will.
Do you think you'll get good?
Yeah, yes, robotics, like everyone's always
Yes.
interested in, and people are very curious about it. And also, I think I unintentionally built excitement because I've had them out and charging a bunch of times. And I've kind of slowly introduced some kids to using them if I haven't been busy. But then if I have been busy, I tell kids, this summer they'll be available to everybody, and we're having a robotics camp. So there are definitely people who are like waiting for that sign up to go
But
live.
there's only 10 that can be in it.
2 times.
Yeah, we can do twice.
2 camps. Nice.
Yeah, we have 5 of the Dash robots, and I think kids can definitely work in pairs. I think more than that, it can get a little dicey. It depends on the kids, which we can't really like know ahead of time who's signing up.
3 is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, related to robotics, I was thinking, this has come up in like dinner conversations with
Yeah.
various groups, is AI.
Oh yeah.
Would be to have the library give a presentation
Yeah.
on, for those of us over 50, how to use AI.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. that would be really
That would
cool.
be really
You know,
cool.
which
Yeah.
AI to use, because people are
There's
being
lots of
pretty
different ones.
blown away by what it's doing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And,
Scary.
you know, how do you know if you're getting something that's from AI?
Mhm.
And which AI to use and how to use AI.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that idea.
That's a great idea.
Oh, that also reminded me, I forgot to mention one program that I've been working on organizing is, the CCOM Bank. They do free educational programs,
yeah.
like scams and frauds.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna have something like that sometime soon
Great.
for
That's
adults
great.
again.
Remember you had some guy from AARP?
Yes,
He was great.
yes.
Remember he
Yeah.
came a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was
Think
right
the
after
community
he
center
started,
had
I
something
think.
Yeah, I
too.
remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's
we-
great. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like, it's insane. We had a huge scam at my work. Like it was a mess. But it ended up not being a mess because we like realized it was a scam. But they sent us a check for $20,000.
Oh my gosh.
That like
Oh.
it was this whole thing, and we were like, and they had said they were going to send $2,000, and then they do this thing where they're like, oh, we meant to send 2,000, we sent 20, so we want it back, but we had already gone, like, we went to the bank and we're like, they were like, this is counterfeit. They ran the whole thing, and then they sent us another check too.
Wow.
So we filed a whole thing to a nonprofit. Like, that's not very nice at all.
Pretty awesome.
So, and I feel like you get more and more of that. It's
Yeah.
worse than
Yeah.
ever. I'm like, I feel fairly savvy, and that was very crafty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm savvy at all. I think I just don't trust anybody.
that's
They could give me
maybe-
a check for
right.
$20,000 and I say, oh, that's a scam.
Well, it was like
Yeah.
this whole building of a relationship. It was like,
Yeah,
it was
wow.
very strange. Never,
So
yeah,
icky.
yeah. It was very strange, yeah.
The other thing is that we have a problem with Amazon delivery.
Mm.
The post office won't deliver to this address anymore because this isn't an official address. Our official address is the post office.
So the Amazon,
So Amazon's now all going to the post office. We have to go pick it up.
that's annoying.
So I talked to the postmaster today and said, what do we need to do? Do we have to put a box out front and now go to, and then you'll deliver here? So we'll find out. We may have to put a box out front.
Okay.
We have a big, beautiful box.
Put it
Yeah,
in the book
put it in the
return.
drop. Put it in the book
It
drop.
has to be this big, this big, this big, this
Wouldn't have
big.
anything to do with the
Yeah,
big building.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
Essex, is it?
Pardon?
Oh,
That wouldn't have
Maybe.
anything to do with this big, beautiful building that Amazon wants to put in Essex. Right?
Mm,
They
yeah.
stopped delivering to addresses.
Mm.
No,
I don't
everything
understand why
came back
people are
from
objecting
Amazon.
to it,
Came
and
with a,
especially post offices. I hear people say, this isn't very nice for the post office. I'm like, yes,
Well,
it
post
is.
office
I would
needs
think
some
they'd be
help.
going, thank you.
I know. So many pros and cons.
And honestly, I had been trying to avoid successfully ordering from Amazon most of this year. Then I panicked about the end of the fiscal year and how many things that I really wanted to order. And I got
it's
overwhelmed
not
by
just
searching
Amazon, it's
them.
anything that they ship through the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any, those weren't all Amazon boxes.
no, they weren't.
Right. And
Yeah.
they were have to sell.
Well,
I go there to pick up the mail and she says to me, oh, are you here to get the boxes?
yeah,
And
that's
she
my
brings out
job.
this big cart full of boxes.
At least they hold it in a cart for us.
Well, they really wanted it out of there. They were blocking most of the back.
That's hilarious. I emailed a few people earlier today because I saw that everything had been delivered, but I was expecting a lot of stuff to be delivered last week, and I was like, it is not here. There is no it's not here. I guess it was just all waiting
In the
at
cart.
the post office.
Cool.
But
Well-
if you're interested in some of the stuff we got some new cushions
Oh,
for
nice.
kids to sit on,
Oh,
and
great.
also these stools for kids.
Oh,
or
nice.
adults,
That's
I guess.
great.
Yeah, that's
Good.
some of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So no old business. Well, old business is kind of new business because we're going to be talking about the select board meeting and then what's happening moving forward. So, and then we want to make sure that we save time for if we can pause by 6:30 and go into, we can do it two ways. We can either
I just thought if we're all here, we could do the annual, like I can take notes on the annual performance, review.
Yeah.
And then we can just get it to Paula because it's like, she's gonna have a meeting with Catherine at some point and she's
Yeah.
relying on us to do it. Whereas last year, I don't think she had a meeting with, did she?
No,
we
I-
did.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
it was
asked
weird.
if we
Yeah.
could, like, if I could meet with her too.
Yes, you
Yeah.
should. Yeah, you're a town employee.
Yeah.
So we have to do our piece and then send it to Paula, so I can like take all the notes tonight and then, we can, if people have other ideas, we can add them and then maybe by the beginning of next week, I'll just make sure she has that. So I just want to make sure, like maybe around 6:30, we can just pause for that piece and excuse you. And then also you and I can make a time just to go over it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, before it goes to Paula. Cool. For sure, before it goes to Paula. Okay, so the new business is a follow-up and the next steps from the select board meeting. So Catherine and I went to the select board meeting on May 15th, and we gave a lengthy presentation.
You did a very nice
It was
job.
very good.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. It was
Okay,
really
yeah.
excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, no, they gave us a lot of time and energy and good questions, and I think I think that's great because it showed that they value the library. There's definitely they value the library. Like that came out very clearly. Is the library on their priority list for the town? No. There's other really, significant things that are on the top of the list. That said, they left us with the same kind of feeling that we've had at all the other meetings that we've gone to present, which is kind of like, let us have some time to reflect. And so I wrote them an email, the entire board, select board, but they probably can't all read it together because then it's maybe, I don't know. And Paula and Catherine was on it, and I just sent it like this weekend because it's really hard for me to do my full-time job in this, but I think it pretty much clarified kind of like where we stand right now and what we're hoping from them. So I do have a couple copies of it if people want to look
I
at it.
have my own copy.
Oh, great.
Where did you get the, I see that you estimated the essential structural work at $300K.
When we looked at the budget
Where
that
is
VIA gave us, that was like kind of about the amount. That would be the structural piece. Anybody else want the email that I
Did that
sent?
include a foundation or is just fixing the building what we have?
Foundation, roof, all the structural repairs.
So, VIA, they have never,
Foundations.
they've only done conceptual ideas. They have, their expertise is not structural engineering. And they've never given us any info about structural engineering other than, hey, here's a guesstimate with a big contingency fund. So I don't know how they got that number.
Well, remember it was a cost estimate, and we haven't given them the green light to do the full, it was a budget, or what do they call it? We haven't given them the green light to
Yeah.
go through with the full piece.
Sure.
They do this work, they certainly do this work all the time. What they gave us is a total project budget. So they haven't had the cost estimator person come out and do that whole piece, but they said this is pretty they have the high and the low. And so when we kind of looked at it, when you look at structural repairs, replace foundation, general maintenance, and then the other costs, it looked about $300,000.
Okay.
That's a rough estimate. So, with all that said, Catherine and I spoke for a while too, just about what are the next steps. So, I had asked them to give us some sort of information. I feel like this is now, I don't even know how many times we've gone to the select board. And it's getting to be a little exhausting actually, because the town owns this building, they need to take care of it. So, I know we're probably being recorded, but that's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. because we have a huge listener audience.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything.
So the
You said-
the question was, what level of commitment can we expect from the town? Is the town willing to help fund the necessary work to preserve the integrity of this historic building? We know that we have 100K from the ARPA. What additional contribution can the town make towards the project budget? And then, once we know what they can contribute, then we can launch a campaign, right? Then we can say, public and private matching, right? The town is going to provide X number of dollars. We need to raise Y number of dollars. And that's where you see thermometers or whatever it is, reaching towards your campaign launch. But without any clear answer as to what the town can provide, and $100,000 is not what they can provide. They should, in my mind, in the mind of others that were there too, there was a lot of people in the audience, I guess you call it the audience, I don't know there, that were very supportive of our, of our presentation and our ask, and felt it was very fair. And I guess, we're asking that they put in the funds towards the essential structural work so that we can, basically position our campaign to focus on raising the additional funds for the ADA accessibility components. If without any kind of clear response from them as far as this is what we will agree to, it's really hard for us to do a campaign and just be like, we're raising money. It's 1.8. And people are gonna say, well, what's a town gonna, this is a town building. What is their contribution? And for us not to have that very clear, first of all, to have not a clear answer is problematic. And also for us to, it really makes it much more powerful when we are partnering with the town in this project. So our partnership with the town is really essential. I put in this email a little, about the launch to light a little fire so that they know that we have a date. It's on, did I say Friday? It's Friday, June 20th. Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. All right. They'll get the point. Okay. That we're going to be kicking off the summer reading program, and we're going to be launching this campaign, and we hope to launch it, and we're commemorating the 200th anniversary of the building in the town center. So it'd be a great time to get partnering. So that's where we left it, and kind of gave them a question would you be willing to contribute 25% of the total project cost if we were to fundraise 75%? We just need to have, and I invited Paula and the board to join our meeting. I haven't heard anything back. It's been a couple days, but
This week, join this meeting?
today
Oh,
to talk through this with us.
Yes.
It's I don't know. I feel like it's it really needs to be a partnership, and I think if we can get a commitment from the town.
Do you think that maybe they've already answered our questions?
They didn't really answer any
I kind of think
questions.
they maybe did. I hate to say that, but
Well,
The questions are.
I thought they said
it's
definitely they would
unethical
not
then.
do a bond. They said
Okay.
that 100%.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
that's-
good to share.
Yes.
Was the select board aware of the estimates, the 300, to just preserve what we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had all the. We
Okay,
talked
so
about
what-
it even.
how did
Yeah.
How
I
did
wasn't
they
aware of
raise-
$300,000.
Well, I mean, they looked at it and they were like, it looks like it's 200,000. We're like, it's probably a little bit more than that, but that would be the structural. But we talked about it with them because they had looked at the budget and were asking the same thing. I don't feel like they did give us an answer. Yes, fine, we're not gonna have a bond vote.
Mhm.
And that's
So
not
where would they
exactly what
come
we
up
would
with
want.
$500,000?
because it's not in their budget.
Well, they have
It's-
a duty to take care of their town buildings. Otherwise,
I
Well,
they
I
should
think
shut
they
it
did
down.
give us an answer, and I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I did not feel encouraged by them. I
Well,
thought
then they
did
should
a
shut down the library.
Marvelous job, marvelous.
What I took
job.
away from it when it was all over, I thought, and I think what Sue was saying too, is that I thought they more or less committed to how they worded it, to the safety of the building. That they committed to, that was they didn't say that, but they said, certainly we want the building to be safe. My feeling was they will support monetarily
The
anything
safety.
to make the building's safe.
So
In
that's
terms
your
of
foundation.
In terms of ADA,
Right, no, and that's what, we totally, like, I think that's what we took away too. And that's why we're asking for them to do, chip in for the safety. We'll take on the campaign for the ADA. And we had a couple parking lot conversations with some local members of the town, and they had some really good ideas, you know, and people that we have deep pockets that would love to support this library if they know that there is a match from the town. We're not gonna go anywhere if the town does not contribute. I think then it's just like,
Yeah.
that's the end of this library, because we can't be functioning in this building for very much longer. And the Band-Aid approach is not a wise idea.
no, no.
So they were receptive to the three
Hi,
hundred
sweetie,
thousand
I'm at a
number.
library board.
No.
They didn't really
So,
give us a number.
I think
No,
they
okay.
were, I agree with
Bye.
Linda that they seemed receptive when it was vague about
Vague.
like, yeah,
Because
the
it's
structural
on,
stuff.
it's on TV, yes, we're interested in safety. They have to say that. So how much are they going to, maybe we
That's what I
switch
asked.
gears in, not go for the ADA, but we switch gears and we try to say, okay, here's 300 grand. That will give us a foundation, fix the roof, the cupola, you know, the items that need to be repaired. And then they're gonna come back and they're gonna say, okay, we gave you 1/3 of that, was the 100 grand, okay, towards the
That's
building.
what I see, yeah.
Well, which is fine, the 100 is great, okay, that's seed money. So now we have to come up with 200, maybe we get 100 from other, like historic preservation.
There
And
aren't
they're not
any
gonna do-
grants.
there's
no
There are
grants.
no grants.
So then we start looking at the 200,000 for,
For work that should be done by the town.
Yes,
It
well,
does not feel right. I don't think a volunteer board should be looking for money to fix a town-owned building. I just
That
think
isn't- that
it's
isn't
not
safe.
ethical. It's
Yeah.
not ethical, and yeah,
but we're at a point where they just did a bond vote and the taxpayers just don't want to see any more spending. I mean, the big baccarat, the big thing on the budget was, I think a 1/3% or something, 30 grand for traffic, for pedestrian safety. And that was almost like the biggest buzz, like, oh my God, 30 grand for safety. And, you know, there's plus and minus. I just don't see them writing a check just because it's the right thing to do. They have everybody asking them for money.
right. So when there's town buildings and town resources in their municipality that need repair and they don't have the funds, they have to figure it out. They have to take a loan out, or they have to figure out other ways to fund these maintenance projects. You have to keep a town running. I mean, they could close the library, sure, but I didn't hear that in any of, that was not the intention at all.
Well, just to throw a real mouse in the works, I did go to the Deborah Rassin informational meeting.
I was wondering if someone could.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did.
Let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Well, you know, they're going big. No, they're not. They're trying to be modest. I took a lot of
I'm gonna get
notes.
so angry.
Wayne did the presentation. He did a really nice job.
How many people were there?
Not a lot. Well, they're doing one, I think they were doing one tomorrow night too.
Yes,
Okay.
so not a lot is 10 or 30?
No,
or-
10 maybe.
Four.
So let's hear what you
Maybe.
have to share with us.
They said, thank you. They said their big goals are that they need more staff space and their children's
kind of space?
library staff
Staff.
space, and their community room is not. Now, I'm just don't shoot the messenger here. It was a very organized meeting, I have to say.
We can make it a very organized meeting here, once
Okay,
we know,
just
yeah.
continue. Let's-
Okay,
Let's hear it all.
they want to expand the children's room. They feel like they want to be modest. They've not hired an architect. They will hire an architect in July. They plan to hire a fundraiser. And their next steps are now they're informing the community of what they want to do. They don't have plans. you know, the
They don't
slide,
have- Do they have how much, they have a month, a dollar amount?
there was not a dollar amount.
Because they
So
haven't
what
worked
what
with
are
an
they
architect
asking,
yet.
so what are they asking for? Why the meeting?
They just want, like,
Like,
it's like
generate-
community input. What do you think? And they said, I felt like it was at a wedding, because they said, there's anyone here who would be against this, like speak now or forever hold your peace, Honestly, I wish them good luck. They are a great library and they deserve to expand. I feel like I would not vote them
They
down.
need to expand though.
Well,
I mean, they can do them as long as they don't take the money from
Right.
us.
But
right?
what I'm saying is they have the same fundraising things. They talked a lot
But
about
they
fundraising.
do a different thing, right? They're their own
They have a
entity,
fund.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
They
Well,
can-
that's part of our agenda.
They can do, if they're bored, they
They're
can
like-
do their own bond, right?
They said they're gonna have to get a bond.
But they do their own bond as the under the
And
whole.
They have a taxing
And we
authority
have to participate.
that
yeah,
does
no.
not need a vote.
No, they said there would have to be a bond vote.
There would be a bond vote.
Yep.
They do have a taxing authority where they,
But don't they have to go to 2 select boards?
They do.
Yeah.
yes, so
And-
when you're done, I'd
No,
like to
I'm
just.
done.
okay.
It was a
I
very.
should say that
So
we're
the
also
next-
like 10 steps ahead of them because
Sure.
we have worked with VIA and we have a budget
No, I
and
know,
we have
it's
plans.
just,
So we just need to keep on
I don't
moving.
think that the community is gonna, like,
Thank
they're
you.
talking about the community, they're depending on the community to, they talked about people with deep pockets and
I think
They
you're bringing up
talked-
the fact that there's going to be 2 libraries in the same town
correct.
with a very similar ask, I think is where you're going.
Yes, and they asked, what
Our
is your
ask is so
timeline?
different, though.
I'm not disagreeing.
I know it, but I don't think this town will
To a
support.
town's member,
Yeah,
how
like
do
library
we-
side.
how are we going to advocate and articulate how our needs and what we're asking for is going to be different than Deborah Rossins to the average town person who are asking to give us money, as I
I
think where our challenge will come.
So just to back up, for their last expansion was what, 5 years ago, their ask?
And
5, 6
that
years?
went down, yeah.
So they were looking for the same identical ask 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Now it's given new life.
Yeah,
Well, they wanted
said,
something like, they wanted something 5 years ago, wasn't that the HVAC? They needed all new up.
Well, they got that.
I think they got that
They
with
they
ARPA
got
money.
that, but
Oh,
no,
they
they wanted more staff space, that was the key element. But then it got,
Did they want a
Turned out.
second floor? Was there something about that?
I know that they
Not
wanted
this-
Well,
more
let's go
space.
back to our, because I know we don't have much time.
Yep,
Okay, all that aside, we just gotta put it aside, because we're not DRL, I'm glad that you were a mole, is that what's called like a mole when you
I
like?
felt like a spy, and then
Yeah,
I left my raincoat there. I had to
Oh,
go
no, you're like, I gotta go.
spy.
well, they could be watching our meetings too.
Totally.
No, they were, and
It's
Wayne
fine.
was the presenter.
I mean, I kind of outed them at the meeting by like, not intentionally, but I did out them and the select board was a little bit, some of them,
What
Catherine
do you
knew.
mean by that?
Well, I was like, well, Deborah Rawson has already they put out an RFP because I got a call from
I don't know what
Andrea.
that is.
Oh, a request for a proposal from an architect. So I got a call from Andrea that was like, or I got an urgent email that was like, I think I told you all this last time, right? Did I tell you all this? That was like, I need to talk with you. And apparently they had approached Vermont Integrative Architecture via, to see if they'd put in an RFP for the project. And Andrea had gone and visited and she's like, I just need to talk to you about this because I'm just not feeling good about it. And I don't really, so I was like, I cannot this is your business.
Right.
Like I'm like, but you gotta make your own decision. So the RFP has already gone out. Clearly they don't have anybody yet, right? So
No, they are gonna interview in July.
okay, so we are like 10 steps ahead in that we've already done our work. We've done our work for 10 years. We have the plans. We have architects that are ready to go. What we don't have is a commitment from the town. So I think we have to just take this in a timeline at this, like one is I can continue. I'll go back to the select board tomorrow and ask for more information. I can't, as a volunteer, keep going to select board meetings and making these presentations. Like,
And it's also Catherine's time out of work too. Like, it's not even paid time for you.
And it
Yeah.
shouldn't be necessary. You've done all that
Yeah.
you really
It's
need to
really
do.
So
pretty
I
exhausting.
think
Yeah.
they've given us their answer. You've got your 100, go fix the building best you can. And I think if it turns into a problem, I honestly don't think that they're going to drop $500,000 into this building so we can have it open.
Well, one thing that we did talk about after the meeting is we kind of wondered, which also was an idea someone had proposed in the parking lot, but like, would there be a possibility if we approached them as part of the like budget, for future fiscal years? Could we set aside some money, not like $500,000 all at once,
200
but
or
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Like,
if-
or each year, 100,000
yeah,
that
if
would
we
go
could
towards it.
chunk, if they could
Yeah.
commit to, maybe they would be more willing to commit to chunk smaller amounts for a couple of years as part of
Like
the
2
budget
years.
discussion. I don't know if they would, but maybe that's,
Maybe
They
more
have in the
palatable.
past.
yeah.
It was a 4-year, I think a 3 or 4-year program where it wasn't, I think they
It
would
was
put,
$30,000 in the budget when Tim Nolte was
Yeah.
on the select board. And if we didn't spend it, we lost it.
or he told us, it's not your money until we write the check.
I
Then
think
it
it's
goes
so
back
different
in-
now, though. I feel
that-
like,
yes,
yeah,
it
it's
is.
so
It
different,
is.
but
So-
yeah.
But that might be something,
I think
an
that's a good
approach
approach.
that would be, we could,
But the problem with that is every year that goes by that we don't make the
know.
necessary
Well,
safety
we could
improvements.
say, this is how we could get it. If they committed to that, we could say, the town has committed $300,000 over the next 3 years. We need to raise X to get to phase 1. We can then start talking it, and
It just gets a foundation.
Exactly,
We know
like-
what their commitment is, and then we move forward.
people
with our
will be
plan.
more likely to give if they know the town is committed to preserving this building, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's their responsibility.
Yes, it
If
is.
there's a safety issue, liability is on them. It's not on us.
Just maybe it sounds like we just need to have put it all out there. Like, we need a dollar amount commitment answer, like from you, to move forward. I just-
To move forward on the
Because-
safety of the
Right.
And
building.
it's just-
Recommendations
we need this-
for
We need
continued
this as
use
a
of the building.
foundation for our future plans of what we plan to do that you're very much aware of.
Mhm.
Everything that we propose, we need X amount of dollars. It doesn't matter what it is, we just need that money so that we know how to proceed.
well,
Um,
I think to spoon feed them, as a board, this will be another meeting, we determine what's our priority. We look at the structural assessments, the 2 reports, we come up with a list ourselves, foundation, roofing, structural loading for the 2nd floor, okay? We come up with the key elements that we draft, we make that, we send out RFPs, right? For design build places or construction people. We don't need an architect to do that. We don't need a cost estimator. This is what needs to be done. This is a structural engineer report that says these items need to be fixed. Put a bid in for it. And then we can have maybe 5
Well, we would have to
bids.
do that. That's the next step. is
Yes,
like we
that's
would
the
have
next
to, yeah.
step. Then we have a solid budget that we can present to the select board. And then it's not this mystery number.
that's
We're
true.
not asking for 1.8. We're asking for, okay, here's 285 for,
Yeah.
all right, preserving the building,
Mhm.
right? It's just like the Red Mill over there. They were writing open checks because they never had a plan. They goofed 2-3 years ago, and then they did repairs, and then it broke more of the foundation, and they dropped another 400,000 on it that they didn't even know, but they were just writing anything to save that building, right? It was a passion for them. So if we can spoon feed them, all right, here's your 285. Here's,
I thought I did kind of spoon feed it in my email. I basically gave them please, commit to this and we'll commit to fundraising.
I
But
think it's,
maybe I don't,
Well,
but I didn't put
right,
it
the
in the, I
question
don't
is,
think.
are we in a position to go ahead and get quotes from contractors?
Well,
And then bring
no.
that to them?
I think the next step,
Yeah, I wondered that
and
too.
remember when we met
What-
with
what-
Andrea and Nick,
Yeah,
the idea
uh-huh.
was like, once the town green lights the
Uh-huh.
project, basically, or once, we go, a project what do they call the person? Like a project
Oh,
coordinator or a
yeah.
Project
project,
manager?
not a manager, because it's not like the same that the town hired for the, it's like a step, it's like less involved, less money. Someone that will do the, like, like Via would help us with the RFP. They would write the RFP for us and put it out there, and then this person would kind of be the mediator
Talked
or like
about that
yeah, like
last
the
week-
go-between.
Last meeting, but I forgot what it's
Well,
called.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
remember also the words, like how to differentiate them, but it
Yeah.
was like
Definitely.
they wouldn't be doing their own like hiring. They're just
Right.
like organizing.
They're like putting all the pieces of the project together.
Contractors together.
Yeah. So
I
it's
think that
less
they
money.
gave us, I'm looking at this recommendations for continued use of the building. I think it's pretty much
Mhm.
spelled out, this
Okay.
is what really
Okay.
needs to be addressed.
So as a board, we can have a special meeting or whatever, or we could just throw in, we develop a scope. What does the building need? Right? And then we could hire someone to move that scope to the next stage into RFPs. If we choose to.
Well, we've been working with Via. They've gotten us this far. They agreed
I
that they
think
would
Via
write.
knows what needs to be done to the
They
building.
totally know
Via
it.
knows
I mean,
what-
they
Via-
are-
Via,
I mean,
they're pretty, they
Yeah.
know what, they have the whole list of the
We've spent
the
hours with
evaluations
that.
that.
So what
are
we
they-
got
are
done
they
and stuff like that.
contractors?
No, they're architects, but they work with contractors.
Oh,
So they would be able to,
Page.
They
This is from the
basically said they
Well,
would walk
it's-
us through
yes,
their
They
steps.
are
but-
engineers, I mean, that's their list.
Is the next step to your point then to just, if we're allowed to get an RFP and have it in hand?
Yeah, so we need to develop what the scope is, what we here, sitting here tonight, is essential for the safety of the building. We develop that scope, we bring that scope to the select board and say, okay, these are the critical items. It's a town-owned building. You, the town, have to move forward with an RFP because it's a town-owned building. This nonprofit can't go out there and ask for an RFP. The town does. This is why we have a town administrator, an assistant town administrator. That's what they do. They put that stuff out. Let them do it. It's their building. We don't have to push the cart.
But they're not doing it, so that's why we've been
Well,
doing all this
then-
work.
Then we come up and we write the scope. We have the VIA fine tune that scope and say, this is an RFP, go get it.
Yeah, I mean, Andrea said they would like write it for us and
Sure,
then we would be
that's
able to,
fine.
like, and we're already paying them we paid them for the plans, we paid them for a number of different, small amounts, but we've been paying, them for different services. And so, and I personally feel like I really trust them and they understand our project. They've been working with us for 10 years on this, like they really have the best intentions of this library. They understand they understand the complexity around like the dynamics between the library, the town, the Deborah Ross, and like all the different. This is really unusual. Like the Shelburne Library needed a renovation. They didn't need to do all this stuff. They just, or Middlebury needs, they just did
Well,
it, and
One
or
library.
Johnson or whatever it is.
Library.
Yeah. So I do think they're really savvy in helping us navigate it. I don't know. I mean, I'm also not an expert. And like, this gets at another one of our pieces is around the time for fundraising that would be needed. So I want to make sure I'm looking at the time. So one piece is Catherine and I were speaking about just kind of following up from the select board and thinking about next steps. And this is really the right time to reactivate the Friends of JTL, whether it's new friends, old friends, whomever, friends of friends,
Friends with checkbooks.
friends
Yes.
with checkbooks, friends that know people with checkbooks. Let's reactivate. The thing is, you all know probably who some of those people were, who are the friends. We
They're
don't,
all over 85.
they might have some money to give.
Yeah, but there might be a new group coming.
Maybe
up.
they have friends, younger friends, or
The friends group that helped when we did the 3, 5, and 10-year strategic
Right.
plan. I mean, there was like a group of 7 I worked with for like
So we need
Once a
to,
month.
what, put on Front Porch Forum that
We're
we're,
looking to reactivate our Friends of JTL because we're in the process of launching, this exciting project, and
well,
like.
I think we don't
Okay.
call it an exciting project.
Okay.
We are
Saving our
the
library.
Building.
Save our
That's
library.
what we have to focus on.
Yeah.
Because they don't want exciting.
See,
And the big difference, safety, the
Yeah.
big difference between us and Deborah Rawson is they make their own budget. And they can hire architects, they can hire a fundraiser, business. They can do it all without any, input from the town.
So what would it mean for us? Like, what kind of if the Friends of JTL, are they a separate nonprofit branch of our library?
No,
I think
they're
that
just volunteers.
they could be. A lot of public libraries organize it that way, and it would be helpful for fundraising because I tried to make a GoFundMe page and then realized that it was a little complicated because we're like a municipal government branch, so you can't make a GoFundMe
Yeah.
page for that. It has to either go to an individual, which I think is a mistake, or a nonprofit, right? And so it would make sense if the Friends were a nonprofit.
Do we have any nonprofits?
We are a nonprofit.
Yes, we're not.
We
We are.
are, but I think that's a relic from how things were organized in the past. Now that the municipality has more, in a more organized way, taken JTL as part of the government structure, we're not supposed to use that EIN for anything, for any grant applications or anything like that. So it's kind of defunct now.
Well, then it's tough because I know when people volunteer, they don't want to have commitment. They don't want to take a liability because now once it was just like what we had with the tree lighting. No one wanted to take a liability of getting a permit from the town if someone got injured, right? So the liability transferred over to the community center. So when we have volunteers and we're asking them to join and be on a board for a nonprofit, I think that's stretching
Is
a
it a
little bit.
board, the Friends?
Yeah, usually when when there's a Friends of a public library group, it is a nonprofit with a board and they have their own organizational structure and stuff. I'm not saying we don't have to do it that way, but that is a way that
It might
it's
take a really long time
organized.
for us to do that. That's
Yeah.
my worry.
Yeah.
Although if we have an
Establishing
EIN, if we have an EIN that we're not supposed to use, could we reactivate the EIN?
No, we haven't active EIN.
But we're not allowed
Yeah.
to use
That's
it.
news to me.
Well, we're not supposed to use it on any grant applications.
From the town, that's what the town has told us?
Not the town hates that. No, the Vermont Department of Libraries has said that. All of the money, federal and state money, if we're a municipal library, it has to be funneled through the municipality legally.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
nothing's happening with
But we're
that
still
nonprofit
a
status.
nonprofit status.
So we could
That's
use
how
that
we're-
nonprofit status for the Friends.
Your grants are not going through, they're going through
They
the town.
are,
And the town is then transferring the money to us.
Anything that's a federal or a state grant is
Like the one that we did
yeah.
last year.
The stuff that's other organizations is just coming directly to us.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
the smaller ones. But
That's
that
why
big
I-
one last year would have gone through. We had to do all that. Didn't we have to
Yes,
get paperwork from
that
this? Yeah.
would have gone
Yeah.
through the town, which was part of, the
issue.
tension that came.
Yes,
from
I
it.
think we have the Friends group do, when I first came here, went to a couple of Friends meetings, but what did
Well,
they
they
do?
did things like the soup sale
Okay.
and the,
When we did
date
fundraisers
sales,
at the
they were-
gallery,
I
they
see.
were there
Yeah.
for that. They
Yeah.
were here for strategic planning. They wanted to come. And
Okay.
we had someone here who was going to be a grant writer for us.
Oh, who's that?
that
We
was
need that
years
person.
ago.
That was years ago.
Okay. Can we get
But
the list of names? Could people share these names?
It's
as they
very
go?
I-
slow, right, so here, yes, I can provide you with a list, it's because it's like maybe 4 people.
But we can at least start with that.
But
And then
I don't think that
there's-
we can ask anything of the friends until we can say to them, this is where we're at.
What about if we brought the friends, new and old friends together and gave them a presentation about where we are with this project and where we're going, and then ask for their input and ideas, and would they be willing to support the fundraising for this project if the town commits to partnering as well? I think if we just, if we can activate some people to start talking about the importance of this project, then I feel like we will be, in better shape. Plus, we're gonna be kicking it off at the summer reading if we can. I mean, we were hoping to kick it off and be like, we're fundraising. So we need to have some,
Well, I think we have to have a scope to present to a peer group like that.
I mean, we definitely have a scope. We have plans that get the building structurally sound and ADA accessible. I mean, we have the plans. It's very clear what is needed.
I guess in my head, I need to know what exact direction we're going. Are we going, our first project would be these recommendations. Is that what we're
We're asking
all
for the
agreed?
town to commit to that.
I know, but is that our project?
I think it's a multi-project.
So you're saying that we're asking
That could be
these
phase one.
fundraising people to raise $1.9 million. I mean, I feel like we need to really,
Not 1.9.
I think
well,
we
I'm
gotta-
saying we
Yeah.
need to really agree amongst ourselves.
Yes.
I personally want to start with this.
And
The
is that-
recommendations.
Yes, so
Right,
that's
that's what I wanna
300
start
grand.
with. That's
The
what I
town gave us
agreed to.
100. How can we get the other 2?
Right.
This is
The
where we
town.
need to go.
I don't feel comfortable with asking people in our community to pay for a building to make it safe when the town is responsible for that.
Sure.
So what I'm saying by
I hear what
multi
you're saying.
is
You're right.
like, if you have a campaign and you say, okay, the town has committed to making sure over the next 3 years that we have the funds for the structural work. Simultaneously, we're also campaigning and fundraising from private people to support the accessibility. Let's say we raise 500,000, then we can do the structural work, knowing that we're saving that rest and we're going to continue fundraising to make it accessible. So we're not going to wait 3 years for the town to give us $100,000 each year or whatever.
I just am so
But we
worried
just
that
need them to
the
commit.
building is gonna crumble.
It is
We're gonna be
crumble.
here like 2 years from now
I know.
saying, well,
I
that
wouldn't be here.
foundation is.
I will not be here. I
Well,
know with me. So I can
nothing's
only
in
handle this much. It's so much. This is so much work, and this was part of the conversation I wanted to have. Is like, if we do fundraising and communications regarding this building project around safety, structural integrity, and accessibility, it's going to take a lot of Catherine's time, and we as a board need to be starting to think about that too. Like, what does Catherine's time look like? How can we make sure she's supported in having more time towards this project and less time maybe for the day-to-day stuff, right? I mean, you can speak to it, but that was a conversation we had.
Yeah. Basically, I said to Lindsay, like, I'm pretty much at capacity with the
Sure.
level of programming that we
Sure.
do. So if I'm going to be doing a lot more fundraising, then I just can't
Sure.
run as many
Yeah.
programs.
That's where the friends come in.
Yeah.
Or that's when we have to cut back on programs
Yeah.
a little bit during this time.
Yeah.
I mean, we can start, develop a scope, we can introduce it to the community that, hey, look, this little library is the foundation of our community. However, we need to replace the foundation of this building to continue supporting the community,
Well,
right?
I think, okay, yes,
So we can
and
get
I
crafty
think
on
if we
how
can
we
get some
introduce it.
community, those friends, whoever. I mean, it could be new people that are highly devoted to this library, old people who were part of Friends. I'm happy to chair up the Friends organization piece to get them excited and motivated. We need people from the community, not just us, to be speaking to the rest of the community about the value of this library. So I do think it's important, I know we're looking at it as number 1, number 2, number 3, but I think it's more like this. We have to be doing things simultaneously, like asking the town for their commitment to make this building safe. activating the Friends of the Library, and starting to think about our fundraising plan, and then thinking about Catherine's time in making this project, a success. So I think I don't think we can like piece it out like that. I think things have to happen kind of simultaneously, and it might be smart to get people engaged and do something like what Deborah Rawson did, do an informational session.
Sure.
Like do a couple of those informational sessions, but have the friends already be really, I mean, we can do our own, we could do it, the board can do it. We've done it like 16 times now. But I think it has a lot of value when it's your community, it's like people that aren't on the board that,
Sure.
are part of the community and care that are part of this presentation. And maybe it's just like, we ask a couple of like really active patrons to like speak to why this is so important to them. And maybe they're, I don't know. And maybe we can gather friends from that meeting. I just think we have to get moving because we're just gonna be doing the same thing next month and the next one.
I think that what you said earlier, to ask friends to help fundraise the structural things, which is really should not, that's, I don't think they should be asked to do that.
Unethical.
That they should be told what, if the fundraising that we're asking you to do has nothing to do with the structural
It's
part of the
accessibility
building.
only.
It's just ADA.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's unethical to ask them to fundraise for the structural.
I
parts
guess
of the
then we
building.
have to, do we go, like, I think what the town wants is they want like a number. This is,
Yes.
I'm just
Okay.
So
I
we
thought I
have-
gave it to them
we
in that
have to
email,
still-
didn't I?
you know.
Yeah.
I did give them a number in the email.
No, I mean like the XYZ company is said,
Yes.
They have it right in front of them. I think we've given them, they did
No,
say,
it's not.
you're very organized, you gave us all the things we need, we gave them everything, we went with here's our highlighted notes,
I'm trying to wrap my head around this right
Yeah.
now, so
Yeah.
I'm a little quiet, is things have been monetized and spelled out very clearly about what needs to get done and how it gets done in each phase that needs to get done. So now I'm getting a little bit frustrated about what is going to get the next step of getting the town to commit to the steps of safety and saying, we've given them this information. They say they have everything they need. I am just, pardon my ignorance, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know what else there is to give them to
Right.
make a decision.
I'm with you on
And
that.
so what is our next step as a board to say, we need a written commitment for the safety of this building? And then I don't want to say an ultimatum, but this is a safety issue and we just need to just call it out for what it is. And I recognize there are different viewpoints on if we go that route and get a little, not aggressive, but very forward about what is this is the safety issue. We can't keep going down this road, because I think I've said this before. We can't keep having this conversation of, we know it's a safety issue. Everyone knows it's a safety issue. We're not doing anything about it. We're just kicking the can down the road to the next meeting. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little flustered. It's making me a little frustrated. What is our true next step for getting boots on the ground to fix the foundation, fix the roof? Because we have everything we need here. In my opinion, again, please
I
correct me if
agree.
I'm wrong. I'm getting a little elevated, and I'm just gonna
No,
sit
I've
back.
been elevated for like
Okay.
4 years now,
I
so I
totally
appreciate
agree.
your elevation, because I
Totally.
am so
That- You just said what
frustrated.
I was trying to say, and you said
Yes.
very succinctly,
Yes.
that we need a commitment from them.
Yes, and everything you said, that is like exactly what I've been trying to say, like it's making me, like my blood boil. Yeah.
So again, as a group, let's just like iron it out. And if people have other opinions, we should talk about it. And what is the true next step to get boots on the ground and like construction here happening?
Do you want me to go to the next select board meeting and go to public comment and ask them that, or get,
No,
I
think we
can't
need
do any more of
we
that.
need to develop the scope of the minimum
We
mandatory,
have it.
but break it not into a packet of.
No, we have
Okay.
it.
Yes,
It's
yes,
one
yes,
person.
yes.
Moving
So what we do
Moving
is
from the
we take,
scope to the ask.
so what we do is we separate it from the 1.8, right?
It
I think
is.
we're all
It is.
agreeing.
It
No,
is
no,
slightly-
okay,
Yeah.
but just
Tom,
let me
this is-
finish. Yes,
this
yes.
is
That's
But
the
what we can
number.
do is, we take this to the select board and here is our scope, okay? Or I take it to Paula
No,
and
I think we have to be like really strategic about it. Paula knows, we've taken it to Paula. We sat with her in her office and looked at we looked at the structural report with her, didn't we?
You did.
Oh, I
wasn't
did.
there.
Oh, you weren't
Yeah.
I sat in her office with her and looked at I'm like, I don't even know how many meetings and time I've given to this project. Like we have a scope of work. They are not dumb people. They get it. They have to make decisions for what's best for the town. This is on them. This building, if there's a safety issue, it's on them. That's period. So what we're asking is a written commitment of $300,000. I can go back to Andrea and Nick and just say, like, is that the right amount? Would you say over the next 3 years, knowing that we already have 100, so give it to us,
And let's start, we can do,
and we can put it in our bank for saving,
We
right?
understand what it's
Yeah.
at, we can
because
start working on
I'm
the
afraid
safety
if we
and
don't
then fund-
spend the money, we're gonna
well,
lose.
then we can
that's
fund
my
based
concern
off the
too.
additional expansions to get to the 1.8. Like, I think we're all on the same page. We know it's 1.8 for everything, but that's not what that's what we need to start things.
Right.
I think that's a good idea. I think you go to them and you're like, it's time to come up with a plan for the $300,000.
I agree.
You guys
I
do.
didn't put that in my email, but maybe I wasn't
I
as
think-
demanding.
I
You guys
think
need
it's just-
so
Yeah.
maybe start
you
with
know
having a meeting with the select
Maybe
board
we need to
chair
have,
separately.
unfortunately, a
You know?
man go to the select board. I
No,
mean,
maybe, I think you need,
No.
I would suggest you would talk to,
Peter.
is
No.
Peter running it?
Well,
Who's
No.
representative?
Catherine.
where do we wait?
Oh,
Hold
no, I
on.
thought
Catherine
somebody else.
Gaines?
Is the
I think,
chair.
Hold on.
I just, hold on.
Yep, yep.
So I think I would say you have a call with Catherine and say, we need a check for 300, not Catherine,
I think it's Eric.
Eric?
Eric
Is
is-
the chair?
Eric is
Yeah,
chair.
it moved
Oh.
to, and Eric moved to
Okay.
Eric,
Oh.
yeah.
So
Why
have a
don't we
con-
wait till we have a 5-member board, which is in
We're
30 days?
waiting.
no, it's
I know.
not
No,
in
it doesn't matter.
30
It doesn't,
days.
it
They're
doesn't
not,
matter.
we're not voting until town meeting day.
No, they're being appointed, they're taking
So,
their
go back-
they're
go back.
interviewing on the
Oh,
So have a
24th.
call with Eric, so
Okay.
that, then it's not a public meeting.
Call with Eric.
Yeah.
Call with
Okay.
Eric between you and him.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
But what is he gonna do?
So
He will.
you get a sense of, you get a.
He's the least, I think I don't know. Actually, he asked really good questions and he
Okay,
really,
then if
he
it's
felt
like
it.
there's
Yeah.
somebody.
He's
who's-
the one who said, of course we're concerned about the safety.
That's true. I mean, so I did put it on safety.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't
Some
know.
awful
So-
things.
He may say, I don't want to accept that call.
Yeah, he would know.
No,
No, he will, not from the head of the board.
No.
He'll take the call. And you tell him, we need to start hiring a contractor at $300,000. We have maybe 150 of it now.
That's true.
We're gonna need another 150 over the next 2 years.
Yeah, I totally agree that going to the public select board meetings is
Oh,
not
awful.
helpful.
No.
It's not getting us
Because
where
what
we
they
need to
do
go.
is
This is
they-
a much better.
Yeah.
You see, just
Okay.
have the conversation with
I think
Eric,
they're
and Eric
just,
will say what I'm always gonna say, but he's gotta say yes somehow. Yeah,
I get it, but he has to take it to the select board to make that
Yes,
decision,
yes.
right?
Someone has to have a formal ask again.
I'll put it in writing and send it to him and I'll also say, let's have a phone call.
Send that call
don't
on it.
just go for the phone call.
Okay.
All right.
You
And
gotta get a sense of where he is on this.
But
Because, and then you go for the formal request that says, this is a formal request for $300,000.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that we can
Yes,
wait over
we're
the
asking
next
for
three years.
$300,000.
yeah, well, we can get
What will
started.
happen
If
if
we
they
can
say
start.
we don't have
I'm sorry,
We
what
$300,000
else?
can
to
get
give you?
started on a project with.
They have to come up
Yeah,
with
with
$300,000.
they have to have an exact list of the things we're gonna do with
They
that
have
We
300.
have the
Yes,
list.
yes, I know.
They
I
have
understand that. But
No, they don't.
now,
No, they don't.
well, no,
No,
they
they
have the
No, they
whole
don't.
thing where.
They are approving, they're approving us to put together a contract or someone
Sure.
to put together a contract
That's
and get bids on a specific list of items, which we've said will be
We
$300,000.
need to continue to be a squeaky wheel and
But we
That's
so
put
we
feet to the fire a little
don't
bit.
send him an email, have a phone call, see where he is.
His last name
And then the
Johnson.
next
And
step
then-
will be,
I
we're
think
gonna,
so, yeah.
we want to have have the board approve a $300,000. They said they can't do it, but they need to approve it.
And if
You
they just
Over
say.
X number of years? Or are you
Well,
just
Let's just
saying,
see where they
do they
go.
have discretionary funds?
It would be in next year's budget.
Okay, in FY
It would be in
'27.
next year's budget.
Okay,
So
By the time we get contractors
we know we already
and
have,
below through
right.
150,
We're not doing this till next summer anyways.
Right.
Yeah, right, okay,
it will be in next year's budget.
okay. And we know $100,000 is already committed to us, so we're really
It's already
asking
there.
them for 200.
Right.
Does that have an
You
expiration date?
I think we already have 50.
In our checking
They gave
account.
us 50?
We already have 72,000. I don't want to ask them for money and be sitting on $72,000
Exactly.
in our checking account. So
Brilliant,
we've
yeah.
already raised $50,000 over
Oh.
the year. We can do whatever we want to with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
yeah,
our
totally.
and that's fundraising.
But no, they haven't given us the 100 that they
No.
The ARPA.
are for funds.
no,
Well,
they
Do we
haven't.
want them to give that to us? No?
No,
They
they can,
can't.
Because the
Pay.
checks are gonna have to, the payments are gonna have to go through the town in order, right?
so
Okay,
they keep,
okay,
Yeah.
so, all right.
So we have
what I-
50, they have 100. We need them to put another 150 in next year's budget.
Okay,
For $300,000. Then we can start fundraising for the, everything else.
we need
So-
150 in next year's budget.
Yeah.
Okay,
They could easily come by and say, you've got 150, put 150 in it and call it a Band-Aid, or do what you can with 150. We're done.
You could.
We
Yeah.
can't
Well,
do
let's
that.
not, let's not get reasonable.
But yeah,
No, that's not
All right.
good for us,
No,
but
but I
that
think it
is one
recognized
of the
what-
responses they can say.
That's true. and
$150,000 is,
They
It's a
could
bridge
say that,
repair for
and
them.
we
It's
could
not that huge
recognize
amount of
that
money
the 300
them
is what
anymore.
keeps the building safe. So
You
it's,
know?
they could say that,
It's
but
a
then
rich
they're
town.
I
recognizing
know,
that
that's
they're
what
only
I'm
giving
like,
us
that's why,
50% of
I
what
just
keeps
think
the
it's,
building safe, which would give us an argument
So
to
we
say,
get, set, you know,
we hear you,
Okay.
and this is
you've
not gonna
already,
keep
you've
the building
already
as
done the
safe
work.
as
You know,
it's
there's
been
great community
documented.
support.
yeah.
We did the surveys.
Yeah.
We've done the work.
They
with the
know that.
architects.
I mean, I might even go
We
back
have-
in, I've done everything.
So let's have a
printed it out.
conversation.
Okay,
Say,
we're
let's-
happy to do that.
we're
so
gonna get-
I think that they are
April.
smiling
April
sweetly
25th?
and
Okay.
ignore,
April.
ignoring, you know, that,
25th
They smile
TIA.
during the presentation.
well, no, what I
Oh,
mean
March
is that
12th, right?
Oh my God, like, I was
for
not
10
smiling.
years, for 10
Oh, yeah.
years, they've been
Oh, and for 10 years they've been smiling.
smiling
Yeah.
and saying, oh, we agree and we hear you and blah, 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 but they're ignoring it completely.
Yeah, and I think if we can just, so I really do think if we can get the commitment from the town, then we can launch our public-private partnership campaign. At the summer reading, we can say, guess what, town? People of the town, the town's committing 300,000. Now what we need is your support
For the next.
for the next phase. Phase 1, they're taking care of the structural safety issues. Phase 2, let's make this library accessible for everyone in our town.
That's great.
And then we're good.
Yeah.
But we need the friends of the
We
library.
just need to
And
be-
So I need some names from people, not right now, but I'll email you all, and you can send me names and contact information, and we can start, and if you have ideas about current people that
Yeah,
might,
I do
okay.
have some ideas.
Okay,
Brandon, I noticed that at the Deborah Rawson meeting, the citizens that were there seemed like young moms. I wonder if the group of people the playgroup people,
oh, let's get the playgroup
I
activated.
wonder if they would,
I can certainly,
You know.
I have contacts in the
And-
playgroup circles and people in
Yeah.
town that I've started to get to know over
it
the
seemed
last
like they
couple
had a lot of
years.
young kids.
And aren't there
that
some
were-
Underhill playgroup people that come,
Yeah,
like Drew?
I mean,
And
we have-
we could even have people from Underhill come and say how important this is.
All right, well,
Okay,
I guess if
we
you're,
can
We've
beat this
got a-
thing all
yeah.
night long. We,
I can have a sidebar with Catherine, and
Okay.
as long as
Yeah.
it's okay to like have discussions with community about this building is unsafe and we are making,
well, we're gonna,
we
yeah,
have a plan to
definitely,
make it more safe.
yes.
I don't wanna like
No, that's how we
necessarily,
yeah.
I wanna be truthful, but I just, I don't wanna push people away
It
too.
is
It's
scary,
like,
too,
it's
that
what
it's
it's
not-
about.
yes.
Yeah, I think
But
we-
so you can give them that,
Yes.
caveat, like, the
our
building is
200-year-old
Yeah.
building needs
Yeah, right.
some love, and we want to see it last another 200.
We
Yes.
we need support from the select board.
So,
And I think it's okay to say like it will be unsafe if we don't address
Sure.
these issues. I think like
Yes.
maybe we don't want to say it's not safe
Yeah.
because then people
I
are
just
like,
wanted to
oh,
make
I
sure
don't
that
want to
there
come
was
with
a-
my kid.
For
Combined.
continued use. I
I
mean,
know,
Yeah.
a combined language that
Yes.
is like a standard language that we should be communicating, so.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 structural engineers come in the past 2 years. The
Right.
latest one wasn't that long ago, and he said it's like totally safe to be in the building right now.
Right
let's
now.
Yeah.
not use
And
the
also,
word
isn't he the same
safety.
one that
Yeah.
said,
Let's get
A
that
year
out of
ago.
our
Okay.
vocabulary.
Yes,
We need to
he
move
said
on
it
to the
here.
next
did,
item.
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
we
we
need
good?
to,
Are we
yeah.
good?
I think, so
Yeah.
here's what I have for next steps. I'm gonna make a call with Eric. I'm gonna be very clear about what our ask is. And then I'm gonna email you all either today or tomorrow, and ask you for names, emails, phone numbers of anyone that might have been a friend of the Jericho Town Library and might be interested, and or new people.
Mhm.
And if you could send me those names, I'm happy to do the communication with Catherine and, put something together that talks about what our hopes are for this library. And if, would they be willing to like come to a meeting? We can have some snacks and we can give them some information. So that would be like the next step. And so, and then once we know what our fundraising issues are, then we can talk about your time and what's needed.
Yeah, I think that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay, great.
All right. Go team. We did it.
Nice job.
I mean,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for speaking your truth too, because I feel like I'm always the one that's like getting sweaty here, but I
Appreciate your
just
work on
cannot do this any longer if we're gonna keep,
Well,
going
it's
back and
like,
forth.
Well,
it's like talking to the wall.
I'm such an action-oriented person, like, I'm impulsive, I want things done, so like, this is just like,
What my little take, one last thing on this is let's not push them into a corner.
no corner pushing.
Because they could easily just say, okay, we're gonna mothball it. We've got too much expense in the town right now. And not to add to this, but
It's not a good look
Wayne,
for them.
the last thing is Wayne Howe used to be on the select board. And he publicly came out and said, I don't support
Yeah, but
this.
But he
he was also on the other board. He was-
No, but he
No, he
didn't
wasn't
support
on that
this
board
one.
until he left.
Okay, well,
He
let's
left.
clear
Oh,
it.
Now he's on
Yeah,
that
right
board.
now.
And he could easily say, hey, guys, we could use their money. Why did, if this
Oh,
place
that's
is
definitely
failing,
a kind of
it's a
thought about
crumbling
that.
building.
Okay, all right, let's move on to the
Okay,
Catherine.
Okay, so
all right.
Catherine, we're gonna excuse you, and we're gonna go into executive session, so we'll turn off the Zoom, unless you wanna be here for you.
No, that feels very awkward.
Yeah, super awkward, and then you and I will review,
Okay.
and then